Hello, Internet! You know, the library is a pretty cool place. It's a huge treasure trove of information and stories from generations past, all available to freely browse and borrow. Like, check this out, I found Glover. You'd be surprised at how prevalent games are in libraries. Sure, you can play games in the computer lab or even rent them from certain libraries, but they're just as prominent within printed paper itself. One of the first examples that comes to mind is Guinness World Records Gamers Edition. The main books have been running for 70 years, but in the definitive year of 2007, they released a spin-off series dedicated to video games. I always thought these things were a lot of fun to look through. Not only do they celebrate the major accomplishments of game studios and players, they're a great source of video game history and trivia. There are tons of books on this sort of thing, both official and unofficial. They can vary in terms of information and reliability, but any one of these would be fascinating to look through. But those are all non-fiction books, simple collections of facts about games. What really intrigues me are the more fantastical stories you can find when the authors decide to make things up. You can find plenty of novelizations detailing the events of various games, with RPGs being the most common examples. I'm a big fan of the written adaptations of the Dragon Quest and Mother games, as different as they may be from the source material. Of course, we had just as many if not more novelizations written overseas. In the early 90s, there was a series of books based on NES games released by Scholastic since kids weren't reading enough. You see how much text is here? And sometimes you'd even see original stories based on games, such as the Mario and Zelda books by Tracy West. Link and the Portal of Doom is a fairly standard adventure in the Ocarina of Time world, but Mario is a bit different. At first it seems like a typical Mario story, but it actually takes place in the same location as Super Mario RPG, which was a decade-old Super Nintendo game at the time. And there's even references to Mario and Wario, which never even left Japan. In my opinion, these books are a really nice thing to have. For a parent, it can be a way to help a kid who likes games to read more, and for a kid, they can be a valuable resource, especially if you don't have much access to the internet. You just have to remember to return what you borrow, or you'll end up with 2,580. Alright, smoke bomb time.